This one's called Police Don't Fight Wars. So considering Australia is now at war, the police are going to be disarmed because police are not here to escort mentally ill degenerates using all those resources so that they don't bring harm upon themselves. If a woman wants to, as I said, raise a Palestinian flag on Bondi, she can do that. And she's subject to the exact conditions that any other person is subject to. If that results in harm coming onto her or him or whoever, then that is the way it will be. There's no special privileges for morons in this country. Enough resources of our country have already been utilised to escort these fucking terrorist protesters around and to fucking film them and to project them on every fucking television screen and every internet social media screen. And maybe it's time for a little fucking history lesson for all of you absolute fucking morons. You want to use the word, if you want to call yourself an Australian citizen, you want to use the word Zionist. They're exactly the fucking same thing. Zionist? Australian. They're the same fucking thing. There is no difference. Where are you coming from? Have you landed here on someone's stolen ground and you're doing this and you're claiming these things? On what authority? On the authority of your Australian citizenship? Well, that's your fucking Zionist fucking citizenship. It's just got a different word. Except in a lot of ways, the Zionist movement is a lot more, legitimate than anything that any Australian citizen could ever fucking dream out of their fucking asshole. You know what I mean? I'll phone up the Tasmanian fucking police right now, or phone up the Premier. Premier, I need a helicopter to be taken to Port Arthur so that I can mourn over the fucking, the imprisonment of Martin Bryant, an Australian. And the potential that he was, falsely used as a scapegoat in order to fucking de-arm the population and astronomically arm the fucking police of the country in some type of pharmaceutical fucking communist fucking Nazi uprising. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, well, basically, because if there was one Martin Bryant there, then there'd be probably fucking half as many dead people. What do I mean by that? I mean that Martin Bryant was probably a good shot. He's protecting his homeland from the invading forces, yeah. Yeah, the invading Nazi fucking communists. Yeah. Same thing. All right, yeah, you'll send a plane and then I'll need a police escort. I don't even know at this stage, how long's it been? I don't even know if anyone's going to try and punch me for fucking trying to say that anymore. Maybe I could just organise at my own time. This is basically a funeral. Why are there 20 police protecting one woman who's suicidal? And why were there not 20 police protecting the people that these two suicidal maniacs fucking mowed down? On the authority that, that's shut down the bridge. They shut down Sydney Harbour Bridge. They shut down the city. How many fucking times? They fucking sat on the fucking Opera House. They fucking basically fucking thought that they fucking owned the place. And Albo was fucking writing their checks the whole time. Centrelink, check. Oh, have you been an Australian business owner? No? Where were you working? Oh, Uber Eats? Yep. There's your Centrelink. There you go. Do you have any dependents or any family history? No, you've just arrived here. Yep. There's your check mark for your fucking Centrelink. and here's your Palestinian flag, and here's your pride flag, and I guess we'll see you on the steps of the Opera House on October fucking 8th. Is this how this works? You just line up. Basically, this is the check marker for fucking the Australian Labor Party. How long have you been here? And it's a sliding scale. It's like the longer you've been here, the worse you were treated. Because this is a tip of the bulldozer fucking strategy of an absolutely out of control fucking terrorist organisation known as the Australian Labor Party. That's right, on this day, at exactly 2:33, on 15th of December, the Australian Labor Party and all its ministers across the entire fucking country are now officially classified as an international terrorist organisation who have financed an international fucking coup and invasion on Australian soil. I've just called in an airstrike into fucking Sydney, so Sydney's going to get a fucking early fireworks display. Who the fuck did you think you were fucking with here? I've been sick of this fucking blondie fucking policewoman fucking bullshit for quite a while, ever since that fucking blondie cunt that is my fucking girlfriend's mother, who basically alcoholically abused her and her entire family while being abused by the police force. You know what I mean? And then abused me, came and told me off since I was a fucking little boy that got left alone so my mum could go pick up her latest squeeze from the fucking airport, and I got in trouble because I'd been primed into phoning the police because there was a fucking non-stop thing about the fucking casino and people leaving their children at the casino. So I thought I was entitled as a young Australian boy to phone the police and report my irresponsible mother, but that turned out with me getting in trouble. You know, very much like the resources sector that fucking, promotes this fucking equality, women's fucking equality movement, and then basically demands them to get on their knees and suck dick. I guess the police force isn't much different. And when it push comes to shove, the only fucking thing they're good at doing is escorting fucking terrorists, like the fucking Aladdin scene where he's a Prince Ali. What is this, Prince Ali? What type of fucking magical fucking lamp did these fucking Persian intruders rub to get this fucking shit to fucking emerge? We're going to kill you all. If you look fucking like you're from, downtown fucking Baghdad and you're in Australia, you're fucking enemy number one. The pigs of the country, the actual pigs, the wild pigs, the pigs that fucking thrived in the fucking harsh landscape that are, occasionally hunted by the odd fucking Australian from time to time, they're going to get a breather now because we're going to fucking hunt you down in the fucking streets. If you're a police officer, you don't want to be guarding them anymore. You don't want to be fucking escorting Aladdin and his fucking princes of Persia around the fucking any fucking capital city anymore. You sure as hell don't want to be having a gun, because if the firing starts taking off, one thing I couldn't fucking ignore yesterday was this hero, this Muslim hero that fucking, throws himself at a fucking dude with a gun and gets it. It all seemed very convenient, didn't it? A little bit too fucking convenient for my liking. Do you know what I mean? Did anyone else get that fucking, that kind of feeling that was a little bit too convenient? But put all that aside, what happens if there's like actual marksmen trained and ready to put down fucking terrorists that are doing this exact same thing? Because this is the most likely terrorist attack of this fucking suicidal Islamic death cult, right? It's the easiest thing to do in the world. It might, at the most, 20 grand, get a box of bullets and a couple of guns, get your fucking crazy fucking suicidal son and your dad to rock up and fucking shoot people at a beach. Yeah, the only thing that's ever going to do it is trained fucking military marksmen that are at the ready to put these down as quickly and as fucking, efficiently as possible. But what happens if you're a fucking hero or a police officer and you fucking do disarm somebody? Then you've got a gun in an unidentified shooter situation. So you're now a target. So no one will ever really, except for the odd fucking pantomime fucking projection, will ever effectively be able to disarm a lone gunman. What are the police going to do with handguns? How is the police presence actually fucking helping this situation? The police are the people that have been parading these fucking terrorists through our streets like they're the fucking Rolling Stones, except more. The Rolling Stones don't get this treatment. They should. You know, sporting stars don't get this treatment. They don't shut down streets, or very rarely. This pay-per-view fucking Gaza Strip idea is an absolute fucking nightmare. See, the problem with the fucking Zionist idea, right, which is equally balanced by the Palestinian, like, this isn't not balanced. I haven't had any Zionists fucking come into my city and shut it down. So the Zionists are protecting the homeland. I'm an Australian, I'm protecting my homeland. The Australian idea is very similar to the Zionist idea. I don't really have, whether I'm Jewish or not, I don't have some vision of fucking traveling to fucking Jerusalem. I don't care. I couldn't care less. Even as someone who purports to be a Christian. That's kind of half the idea about it. It's like we've kind of gotten over that. We've found our own Zion. You know, it's in our hearts and it's in our fucking things. It's in our you know, it was in our empire. It was all over the place. We spread the fucking word of God all over the place as the British Empire. I don't know if you noticed. And after the worst fucking genocide in the history of the fucking world, the Jews needed a place, and they are very fond of that place, and so we gave it to them, and that's the Zionist ideal. And that's no different to every fucking Cockney fucking Scouser fucking Pommy fucking Irish fucking Scottish fucking absolute degenerate fucking scum that have all fucking polluted this landscape that I fucking see in front of me now. The Australian landscape. It's exactly the fucking same thing. And what's worse is if you've spent the last 3 years protesting on the fucking dime of the government, well, that's like a double whammy. It's like you've put the alert level, and this alert level isn't being activated because I'm Jewish, because I really don't even know whether I am Jewish. It's being activated because I'm Australian, right? And my Zion is in Tasmania. So I'm protecting Australia with the same spirit that the Zionists are protecting Israel. Because I don't like my chances, really, of getting home. Although, if there was an invasion, a significant invasion in England, well, I'd have to go there. Or I'd have to weigh it up a little bit. But what are you doing? What have you all been doing? What is your actual understanding of fucking... Like, because you understand, it's like none of these things, they're not... Like, this is the whole ideology around criticizing the Zionist movement is that, this is what the Zionist movement is, a container, right? And all the dirty fucking filthy Jews of the world are sending money to this container, which is the fucking prison. That's what that's the fucking thing. And they meddle with all the things, right? And this is fucking Zionism, and they've got a place, and this is this cold fucking delusion, right? Well, Palestine is exactly the same, except it's a sacrificial fucking altar that the Islamic world is sacrificing their people on while they fucking get paraded around our fucking streets with fucking police escorts and disrupt every single piece of our fucking society non-stop to bring our awareness to the fact of how many people the Islamic world are sacrificing in Palestine. There's no specific important thing about this land in Palestine, right? It's the selected Colosseum that all of this nonsense has been fucking concentrating on, except most real Australians. They're just like, I don't want to watch this. I'm not Jewish and I'm not a Muslim. I don't want to watch some weird fucking Middle Eastern fucking showdown on every fucking screen non-stop while my children are fucking taken off me. My country is fucking degraded. My religion, my fucking culture is destroyed. The fucking environment is destroyed around me. There's reckoning. This isn't fucking Australian Idol. The British Empire didn't Australian Idol this country into existence. Both flags of that fucking thing. You know, less so the Israeli flag, because it's a clear cry after a hideous genocide and a proud fucking statement of their religion. It's very similar to the pride flag, except way worse. There hasn't been 6 million homosexual people that have been killed in the world. You know, there's quite a lot that have had a very hard time, but they weren't hideously fucking murdered by the millions. And yet this flag is hoisted above every fucking town square. And considering I'm coming to this, I'm saying this in a pair of high heels and a fucking skirt, and with a new fucking found, sexual attraction to the same sex, I think I can really actually fucking speak to this. The entire fucking queer homosexual fucking ideology, basically, is or has been like a slight inconvenience, because it's like and this is the greatest thing. It's like if I'd go and get, a lineup of average Australian men aged between 20 and 50, all men, Englishmen, whoever, Americans, doesn't matter, all men, right? And I say parade a beautiful young blonde, blue-eyed, blonde-haired, woman with amazing tits in front of them, and say, do you want to have sex with her? There's a huge portion that would say yes. So this already is the existence of all men. And under the consent thing, which is I'm 100% in support of, it's like, well, then in consent, no, she's going to reject 99.999% of those men. So the entire homosexual theory is actually no different, because whether you're allowed to or not have sex with men, it's the exact same equation, isn't it? So say it's fully illegal. Well, that's the same. That's the same as 99.999% of women saying no, they don't want to have sex with you in a consensual society. So if you get your calculator out and you start thinking, well, if you make homosexuality not just, so we've staggered it. I mean, you're going, yep, it's acceptable. Yep, it's this. Right? Then there's a tendency of men to be very exuberant in their fornication. Once this fucking barrier is removed, then this inevitably tips the scales on average well above the heterosexual average. Because statistically, and if you take the whole population into account and you take the most desirable women into account, the advances of 99.9% of men will be rejected by that 0.0001% of attractive young woman. What a ridiculous thing to fucking raise a flag at. It's the same as abortion, I think. It's like, See, we don't have to fully go through all these arguments. You know, transsexualism, homosexualism, whatever, like queer thing, all this stuff. It can be like not celebrated, right? It can lay in the middle of that territory. That's a rather large territory. There's 1.5 million other things that lie within that territory. If you think about it, like, oh, I'm a racehorse breeder. Kind of lays in that territory now, doesn't it? Not really celebrated. Not, is highly condemned. Selective people celebrate it. Still goes on every day. Just start fucking thinking for yourself all the other examples that could do there. How are these individuals that are culturally alien to this country, in a lot of ways, their language barrier, in a lot of cases, very new to this whole thing, and in a lot of cases, like the majority of Australians, also being exposed to a new experimental display of projected authority and power. With all of these hurdles that these, Muslim individuals now inhabiting our shore, how exactly are they to not think that they own the country and that they have indeed successfully invaded the country? The minute I'm getting a police escort, to climb to is there stairs at Buckingham Palace? To climb to the stairs of Buckingham Palace and say, I'm here to kill Charles and gas him, I guess I'm king. There's probably some more intricate fucking measures and, customs and traditions and things like that in the homeland that I'm not, as familiar with, because I've been down here for so long, or my family's been down here for so long. But coming from a culture that does blatantly, celebrate these violent acts and does blatantly fucking worship sacrifice and suicidal ideology and, sexual things and displays of power and, Albo doesn't even get a police escort through the fucking city. So what are these people to expect? Very much like the Iranian fucking psychiatrist trying to diagnose and treat my mother's mental illness, which is only ever able to be transcribed using what I'm using now, which is human communication, verbal and body language and interaction. So it's no surprise that if he's flown here, he's educated here, he's paid here, he's subsidized here, he's celebrated here, he's all his, religion. How do I not know that these individuals don't have the false kind of interpretation that they are indeed here to convert Australia to their glorious religion? Really, unless they're fucking forced on the citizen thing to say that they throw aside all of that and know they're not here, can you blame them? And I'm saying, no, you can't. And whose fault is that? Well, it's the Australian Labor Party and the Australian government led by Anthony Albanese's fault. The amount of times I've got into these arguments with my English expat girlfriend at the moment, and as women do, they kind of get into this, and it basically just comes to, we just thought we were just doing as we were told. We thought we were doing the right thing. We were doing what everyone else is doing. And if everyone else is waving Palestinian flags and shutting down cities and fucking saying gas the Jews on the fucking Sydney Opera House and every fucking news station is doing it, then why would these people not think that they are now the fucking rulers of Australia? Unless, Air Force fucking bombs decimate their fucking filthy little fucking ghettos and turn it into fucking smouldering fucking ash. That's the only way they're going to know. This is the only way you can explain to these people. Everyone, if they're going through a checklist, they're basically like, are you terrorists? Are you here for the best interests of Australia? I once was on a construction site and I saw two Asian tilers who kind of over here on the west basically took over the entire fucking tiling trade from the wonderfully skilled fucking Italians. If there's one thing that Italians can do is they can lay stone and tile and things like that. They're very, very good at it. The quality was amazing until all of a sudden it got taken over by a bunch of Asians who basically would put 20 people in a bedroom and make them fucking eat rice and work fucking 14-hour days. And on one occasion, I saw them using a fucking electronic mixer. This mixer fucking got out of his hand and spun around with the cord attached to it, literally snapped the fucking cord off and started shooting dangerous, deathly fucking electricity at everyone in a fucking 3-meter radius. But the warning cries that I was spurting out in English, stop, 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 you're going to do, this is bad, 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 bad. They don't know that. Even culturally, their warning cries sound different. The phonemes that are used, the intensity that you use, it doesn't trigger them to realize that something's going on. And I assume that our Islamic brothers and sisters are no different. So based on this calculation, I'd say it's approximately, I think it's 16 people dead, 15 plus the terrorists, and he's a victim of his own fucking whatever. So let's say 16. That gives us a 6-7 bit of leeway for fucking for error. So I'd say to successfully explain to the Islamic Muslim population of Australia, and then in turn to the greater Islamic world, that in fact they don't own this country, that in fact you have misinterpreted our laws and our legal precedent to disrupt and do this protest and all these things, unfortunately helped on by our kind of bloated, self-serving, bureaucratic public servant class. The military, of course, not included in that. And I would say that, yes, officially 16 mosques in New South Wales are to be destroyed as of tomorrow morning. So here's your fair warning. You've disrupted our city and our country and our religion and our empire for a very long time. So do not be in a mosque in the next 14 hours or whatever. Don't be in one, because it's going to be a lucky dip. You know what I mean? These fighter pilots don't get a lot of opportunity to fucking drop a bomb on a mosque in their own country. This is like their fucking grand final or their cricket match or their fucking state of origin NRL or whatever like that, okay? And we use these techniques, fireworks displays for Australia Day and all these things. Like you've demolished my business. Tons of families have been demolished while, we put up with all of this fucking nonsense. So, and you can, look, really, we're giving you a warning. We're not killing anyone. We're just destroying, symbolically, a hideous fucking devil-worshipping fucking communal centre. And I guess you can rebuild it. That's way better than fucking shooting people at a beach, isn't it? Think about how many fucking ways that is more beautiful. And I can't wait for every fucking Muslim in Australia to sit here and have to watch this with their like fucking working out board. And they're like, a gun shoot beach no good. We lost our mosques. He's a good man. He's a good man. And just quietly, if there's anyone that I should remind you of, it's that Muhammad bloke. You know what I mean? Because I think that's what Muhammad would do in 2025. So maybe I am Muhammad. Maybe I'm Muhammad. Maybe I'm speaking directly to Muhammad. Let's fucking see. Let's use, because see, Muhammad, if he was in Australia, he'd be speaking English. If he wished to actually participate in our democracy and, disrupt our cities and bring appropriate protests and all these things to our, levels of adjudication, he would be speaking English. He wasn't an idiot. You know what I mean? It's like, this is the most important lesson. If you wish to purport the wondrous fucking, things that Muhammad brings to the world and that Allah brings to the world, in Australia, you've got to do it in English, okay? And so I'm going to call up Muhammad right now, right? I'm going to say, I don't call him Allah, I say God. So I say, God, right? the real God. You know, I imagine myself swimming through all the bullshit like I'm fucking coming up from getting dunked by a huge wave. I'm swimming through all the fucking religious dogma, all the fucking shit, and I find my one fucking true God, and I say, God, I need to speak to Muhammad for fucking exactly 5 minutes or 3 minutes, exactly, I don't know. I need him to give me 6 words. He gets a bonus word because he's obviously a pretty substantial figure, and these 6 words are for the Muslim population of Australia. The first word is trace. And more importantly, angling. This is a fishing term. It's a short piece of gut or other strong material connecting the hook to a fishing line. So you've all taken the bait, but luckily, because Jesus was a bit of an angler on there, he's fucking put a fucking hefty trace on there, and your fucking terrorism teeth is not going to get through it. Okay? So that's the first word. Second word, explicate. To develop a principle to make plain or clear, explain it. That's basically exactly what I'm talking about. I'm explicating. This is an explication of the exact status of Muslims in Australia as of the 15th of December. That's 2 words. Oh, fuck. These are difficult ones. Muhammad really was a scholar, so he's giving me some difficult ones, and this is from beyond the fucking realms and all these things, and he's like, I need my people to get these messages, and that fucking dude there's the only one who can do it. And he's testing me because I don't know these words. Plesiosaur. Any member of the extinct genus Plesiosaurus and the oldest who existed in the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods, comprising marine reptiles with small head, very long neck, short tail, and large flippers. When I'm in the ocean bodyboarding occasionally, which I've done at Bondi, by the way, and it was fun, and I'd love to do it again without being shot at, I do sometimes imagine myself as a prehistoric fucking, extinct fucking reptilian fucking dinosaur from the aquatic regions. And I guess Muhammad is saying that the extinct genus, so he's extinct as well in Australia. And so we've got that in common. That's 3 words. Let's go to another one. Right. Another word I don't know. This never happens. So that's how I can tell that I'm in touch with the true fucking one prophet of the Torah and the Muslim, not the Torah, the Quran, and the one and only true prophet of the Muslim and Islamic faith. Harakiri. Harakiri. By ripping open the abdomen with a dagger or knife, the national form of honorable suicide in Japan. Always an option. Just saying, always an option will be classified as your entrance to paradise and will be way more successful than shooting people at Bondi. Any Muslims want to fucking do harakiri? Yeah, that's some way to get some brownie points back in this country. Harakiri, we'll go, holy shit, Muslims have a problem. Say we saw fucking, instead of 16 dead innocents, we saw 16 harakiri fucking Muslims, bringing awareness to Palestine. I reckon there's a fucking 99.9% chance we would definitely intervene in that fucking conflict right now. I think there's 2 more. Unfriendly, not friendly, hostile. You have been particularly unfriendly as of late. You have disrupted our nation. You have disrupted our people. You've attempted to invade us. You've disrupted our religious, ability to transcribe our verbal customs and traditions and religious doctrine to our descendants. And you've stopped us from being able to adapt to this very new, interesting, communicative, interactive digital world. And so stop it, please. It's funny, it's like Haida, which says before vowels. So that's a very specific Term to do with variant of Hydra before vowels in the hydrangea. Hydra, variant of hydro. And so more than likely that means that, I think it means water. And it could be Latin or Greek. Possibly Greek, because Hydra is the next word down. And the Hydra is any persistent evil arising from many sources or difficult to overcome. Zul. And then, it's any of the freshwater polyps consisting of the genus Hydra, which I'm guessing, Hydra ponics is this. But the Islamic, and specifically the extremist Islamic cult in the world, acts very much like a Hydra. It's a persistent evil arising from many sources. And so I guess all we can do is attempt to communicate to all of those sources to stop being unfriendly in Australia. And we encourage you to participate in our customs and traditions. And to do that, you need to get your hand and your head around the English language, which is a doozy. It's a doozy. That's why Muhammad didn't speak English. Because if he had have, he wouldn't have had any time to fucking do all that warlord stuff. Because it's very time consuming. Pretty good day for a father and son duo, 16 people dead, you know what I mean? It's pretty easy fucking tickets, easy, like at the Royal Show. It's just like pretty easy fucking winnings, and you've gone home with your very own fucking teddy bear at the end of the fucking prize, but a lot more difficult to put together, upwards of 10,000 pieces of fucking interconnected English dialogue in order to defend a fucking empire. So, horses for courses and all that. I'm not one to degrade, previous warlords. I'm quite fond of people like Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan. Warlords from all over the fucking place. Hannibal. It's really part of my education is to draw inspiration from that. But being an Englishman, I do like to squirt it into the words. And this country, when we're all together, which is what co means in the COVID. It means all together, and then vid means see in Latin. So when we all together see, in Australia, we speak English. It's no disrespect to the Aboriginal people. The Aboriginal people, I think they had 360 fucking different dialects, okay? So I encourage, if you are from a particular tribe in the Aboriginal thing, I'd encourage you to learn it. I know a little bit as well of the region I'm in now, which is the Noongar country, Noongar Budja, I think it's called. Budja means country. And it's a lifelong passion for me to get more acclimatized to the specific Aboriginal dialect of the region of my birth. And if I did move to Tasmania, I would love to learn the dialect there as well. But for us to collectively all do anything together, we need to speak English. And it needs to be harnessed with the same skill set that it would be used to control the high-powered, high optics sniper rifle that will be positioned at all major New South Wales tourist attractions for the next year and a half. And so you might get one fucking shot off, I reckon. So it's probably best to fucking sell your gun into the legal market, hand your fucking license back in, because we've got a fucking feral pig situation across the entire country. And we really need a fucking an arsenal to keep these fucking pigs down. Because if these pigs fucking take over this fucking country, we're all fucked. Okay? They're greedy. They're fucking filthy, fucking disease spreading, lazy, fucking imported, fucking invasive, absolute fucking scum. Right? So it's really important that we have appropriate weaponry to do this. And there's no need for you to have a fucking weapon like that in Sydney, all right? Yeah? You don't need to fucking show off and try and fucking snag who wants a wife. Do you know how hard it is to get a wife if you're fucking 2 hours away from a capital city in this day and age? No broad wants to go out there. You know what I mean? I can go to Sydney and fucking cast my line into the fucking water of both genders now, and I'd probably fucking do pretty good. So you just don't need a gun there. You don't need a gun. I reckon the cops don't need guns either. They need a baton, and they need to use them. Like, no, how about this? Cops have no guns, but if a fucking smart-ass teenager is thinking, you can bat on him. Straight in the face. Right? It'll probably work out all right. That's what I want to see. These women, these police women, trained in batonry, direct batonry, and like encouraged to use it. You know, and this is aligned with all fucking traditions of Aboriginal law. The lawgivers fucking whack people with a stick. I fucking kid you not. Perhaps if these fucking degenerate fucking absolute scum were fucking beaten with a fucking stick instead of celebrated as fucking warlord, glorious fucking patriarchal fucking slave owners that command their women and their fucking whatever is like basically fucking dogs. Perhaps if they'd gotten the old fucking clobberoo with a fucking baton, maybe they'd fucking think twice before fucking bringing this much horror to a fucking beautiful beach. Well, how long is this? 42 minutes. Fucking hell. Muhammad was chatty. So I'm going to fucking close that door, Muhammad. I'm going to say thank you. High five. We do a little off fucking screen secret handshake, which you will not fucking see, because if you did, you'd be able to unlock the gates of fucking Persia and fucking progress and fucking things. We'll just do a double tap, fucking shift it over. I'll see you in the fucking next one. And yeah, hopefully we can fucking begin to, in English, explain how Muhammad came to Australia to fucking tell his people to chill the fuck out. You're in Australia, you're in the promised land. Yeah. Pretty simple. Go for a swim. Next time you feel like killing people, go for a swim. Get in the water. The water's scary. Right? But it must have been scary to just fucking think that you're going to be able to kill people at Bondi. It's just as scary to catch a wave. And I can't wait to see the Muslim fucking surfers of this country show that. In fact, I see a future, in the not too distant future, 12 years in the future, I see a Palestinian refugee, proud Australian, trained at Bondi to surf the craziest and best waves. After experiencing this fucking hideous day, he decides to fucking, give his life up to fucking Poseidon. He learns to surf and he wins the fucking Pipeline Masters in fucking 12 years' time. Because if you can fucking suicide bomb, if you can fucking fight a hang glide and fucking terrorist in, if you can shoot people at a beach, you're probably going to have some pretty big balls to fucking drop into some crazy waves. And if I see you out there, it's all love. Alrighty. I'm going to fucking take this dog and pony show inside because I'm sweating in this fucking shithole. Plant some trees.